I'll call the meeting to order, I guess, since we're all here, ready to go at 7:01. And again, good evening. Happy 4th of July belated, everybody. And I just start things off by saying we have approval of the minutes for June 1st. Do I have a motion? You're muted, Maureen.
I move that we approve the minutes from June 1st.
Thank you.
Second.
Second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions?
I wasn't here.
Okay.
I can't remember if I was here.
I don't think so.
Okay, then I also abstain.
Okay, will do. Thank you very much. Communications and announcements. Anybody have any communications or announcements?
Nope.
I have just one. I think, I don't know if you all looked at the Citizen or saw, but there was a shout out to our town, our future from the first selectwoman. I think, unfortunately, I think she might have spelled your name wrong there, Maureen. But
yeah, she's got my name wrong, and when they appointed us to this committee, they got my email wrong. So is that coming from her office or?
yeah, I don't know why.
She misspelled my name too. She left
Yeah. That's something we need to be really sensitive to when we acknowledge volunteers. Maybe we can be really careful, because if we're acknowledging them, we need to have the courtesy of spelling their name correctly.
Yes.
I would be willing to work on that with somebody else, because a second set of eyes or whatever, I don't know. Yeah. It needs to be correct though.
Yes, I agree. So I will note that back to her on that. Any other communications? Yes, I'm sorry, Margaret, go ahead.
I think she's just waving her arm around.
Oh, she disappeared. Okay.
Mike, you heard me say that she misspelled my surname also?
Yes, I did. I saw that. I didn't see it when I first glanced at everything, but
it's all right.
Yeah, I think the intent was there, so
yeah,
go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll jump right into old business. Discuss the Ashford Volunteer Recognition Program. I guess as you probably heard from my email when I learned of it, that none of this got into the first issue in July. So I did kind of coordinate back with the first selectwoman, Catherine, and I did reach out to Colleen to make sure what we're going to be doing is in line with how they want things formatted. And so I did, based on that, kind of draft up, took a quick run at it, as you saw, for the mock-up of the first one that'll go out, and it can kind of conforming to the one-page standard. I think you've all hopefully had a chance to look at that. I see Nora, you did provide some feedback, and I don't know if anybody else has any comments they want to add or anything they want to. Everybody have a chance to look at what Nora put forth.
I mean, I didn't change anything substantial. I just included the part that talks about civic discourse and mutual respect.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to include that. Yeah. So I just sort of cut some other things that were slightly less important. But the message is still the same.
Yeah.
I do have one concern, and I think it might be good for me to talk directly to Colleen, because I think I'll be doing the writing. And I'm experienced with editing and formatting, so she and I will be able to discuss it. But this is probably the smallest list that we have. No, I think actually the Agriculture Commission is smaller. But that means that there are only like 2 out of 18 that are going to cover one page, be as small as one page. So I want to talk to her about different ways that we can format or where we can split or that sort of thing, so that it makes sense to people that are reading it. So is it okay with you if I just talk to her directly?
Sure.
I mean, that I will write something. It's going to be essentially from 2 through 18 will be the same text.
Right. Yeah, we had that. We had that draft text. I think that one's pretty much
right.
good
Except that what will change is the name of the
yeah, I
board,
know.
purpose, composition, schedule, and then who the current elected members are, who the current alternates are, vacancies, and then historical members. But the whole first part, which is actually fairly short, it's now only 2 paragraphs, three paragraphs, isn't going to change. And I'd like us to look at that and make sure. Well, actually, I didn't shorten that.
I sent one out. I don't know if you saw. I did. Hopefully, it's shorter, but yeah, I know my personal feeling, and I know what you guys think. But I mean, this is to me is as important as anything else that goes in a citizen, in the sense that this is a pretty amazing thing that needs to really be worked on. Look what's happening with our fire department, and we've had to kind of begin to transition almost towards a full paid fire department because we're not getting the volunteers we need, and a lot of the committees are missing people or really need people other than some of the elected ones. So I think this is a pretty critical thing to get out in front of the people, the folks in Ashford. So yeah, I think the 1 page kind of limit is, I mean, it's kind of the guide. I think you have to see how it goes. Yeah, because I kind of agree it's important. I don't know what you guys think, but somehow we got to make it work.
Well, I want to see if she can go beyond.
Go ahead, Margaret.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Margaret.
Well, no, so I just had two questions. One of them is, so are we sending her copy, like what Mike and Nora drafted, or are we actually designing this so that it has like a look and a feel? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
like so that there might be sort of a format, like the intro, the first couple of paragraphs, is that going to appear in every one? And I think it probably needs to remind people why we're doing this series, right? And so like that's kind of a section, and then you've got the current like what this committee does and the current members, and kind of highlighting them, right? Like these are the people that are doing the heavy lifting now. And then historically, here are the other folks. And I think that if you sort of create it, do and it can be super simple, but just if there's, something with simple tint boxes, or, like a specific kind of a typeface in the headline, just that it'll kind of look like an ad, or like a piece out of a newsletter, and make it look different than maybe a lot of the other type in the Citizen, so it gets read. So I know that requires a little more effort on whoever's submitting it, but that I think would help kind of break it up and make it more bite-sized for people to see the different pieces of it. And then the only other thing that, and I liked the way you had written it up a lot. I love the reasoning, why we're doing this. I love all of those. The only thing that I would add is in Nora, and I read Nora's first, you talked about, these committees creating plans that can be taken forward to the citizens. I think, it's also a lot of action, right? Like there's a lot of planning that goes on in these boards and commissions, but there's a lot of stuff that happens as a result of this, and these commissions make stuff happen too. So I don't know, just so it doesn't just sound like all we do is talk and plan, but the fact that there are real things that happen in our community because of these volunteers. So that, it's a subtle thing, but that was the only piece that I felt was sort of missing from that one line.
That's a good point.
So that's my input on it, but it's wonderful. I think people will be really curious, to see the names, and oh my gosh, this person isn't around anymore, and oh, I remember him, and I think it'll be well received.
Well, the formatting things you just discussed, Margaret, I think I also had in mind as something to discuss with Colleen. I don't have a particular plan, but if we're going to use this phrase, volunteers are the heartbeat of Ashford, then I think there needs to be some kind of a heart symbol or heartbeat symbol that gets repeated. And
Yep.
I also think, right now it's all in Times New Roman 12, including all the headers. And I don't think that's particularly effective visually as an attention getter. So I want to talk to her so that she knows we have 18 of these, that they will be various lengths depending on a little variability for each, for the explanation of each board or commission, but also the length of the list of historical members. So I just want to make sure that she's clear about what she's going to be getting for the next year and a half from us, and our expectation. I think we have a right to have an expectation that this is going to be presented in a way that will be noticed and received by the people.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe like if you look at this month's, I mean, things like what they did for Christine Abacoff, I mean, at least to put a border or something around that, it makes it kind of jump out a little more than just plain text. I mean, that's beyond what I'm not an artist, sorry. So, but maybe it's someone else that could do that. But I think, yeah, I think Colleen, I did talk with her a couple of times, so she's aware that what we're trying to do. And but yeah, I think obviously a little bit of artist touch to make it pop a little bit better in black and white, because that's all we got. Will be the thing to do. And yeah, the font, all those things. I think important to at least get it out there. And but to remember the process here, that the Board of Selectmen want to see, basically the process. I think I mentioned it in my email, but the process moving forward, what they want to do is to send the copy to the Board of Selectmen, or to actually Catherine. She's been authorized by the Board of Selectmen, and the copy to Colleen simultaneously, so that if there's any questions, at least Catherine can raise, speak up about it, and that way Colleen gets it and whatever. So that's kind of what we have to do, is a process of this thing, and how to make it look fancier, whatever. I think I think that's an important thing to help it stand out amongst the other. How many pages this thing is? Pretty long, right? 20 pages, 30 pages. Yeah.
We will have the first 3 done. I could have them done in the next couple days. We have not checked the list for the Conservation Commission. That's number 4. That shouldn't take too long to do. I think I would just send it to Loretta and have her look at it. And then EDC is 5th, and we have that completed also. So I could have the first 5 ready to go, within a week. And
well, we have to have the next one ready to go by next week, next Monday.
Yeah. Well, it is ready.
It is ready, I know, but
I just sent it out to it's the age out to somebody that's a historical member. I'm pretty sure that it's fine, but as you said, we want to run it by people to make sure. So my point is that I don't mind sending it to whoever wants to look at it, but it's not going to vary from one
no, I know it
to
is
the next. Yeah.
It's just that's what we've been asked to do and directed to do. So
all right. That's fine.
Well,
yeah.
So maybe we get this one as it is, even undesigned, into Catherine's hands immediately, and give Nora a couple, so she sees the copy, and then that gives Nora some time to do a potential design for the citizen, right? Because if you just give it to her to Colleen as a PDF, and she just drops it in like you're sending her an ad, that would make things a lot easier for her.
Right. She told me either Word or PDF are fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just so you know, Catherine has already seen this first one.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
not
Before
just
it was
so,
edited, before
right.
we shortened it a little. But as a matter of fact, she wanted to take that meaty paragraph and use it herself. But
Good one.
she ended up not doing that, which was good because I didn't want it to be too repetitive when we actually put it in. But so she's really on board with it, Margaret, at this point. And I think the kind of changes that we're making, and again, we can send it to her, that's fine. But the changes that I've made are not substantial in terms of what she's already seen.
Yeah,
So,
then I wouldn't send it to her again.
Well, I would
okay,
just, as a matter of process, I would, just because that's
Yep.
what they asked. So we're changing it. I just want to keep consistent. That's what we were directed to do. So,
okay.
Yep.
All right.
that,
So then, yeah, so I'll have it through, I'll have the first three done. I can get them once I figure out a format, and I have to talk to Colleen about that because if I'm going to change the font size, put bigger headlines, put an image in there, it's going to take up more space. And so I need to figure out from her exactly what she wants and how it's going to work out because subsequent ones are going to also go over one page. So we have to iron that out. So I will try to contact her tomorrow, see when I can meet with her, and explain the situation. Has
yeah,
she she laid she's the one that shortened it, Mike? Did she
no,
lay
no, no,
on it?
no, I'm the one that shortened it.
Ah,
I edited it. And I try to, she said that really the criteria are that fit on one page with, they use like a 1 inch border, top and bottom sides. Um, it doesn't look that like that's what it is on the, oh yes it is. But so I'm guessing maybe some kind of border around the text. Maybe it'll fit and make it work, where you don't compromise the actual, text within that border. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the
yeah,
ones that, if I'm looking at the one here at
right.
the assessment news, it looks like the text is within the 1 inch, but the border kind of goes outside of that 1 inch kind of thing into the. So I don't know.
Sure.
You can find out. She can tell you. I don't know.
I mean, I think she could probably use a smaller border on this also. I don't think that printing is the issue. It's just a matter of everything being uniform throughout the whole publication. But that's the kind of thing I need to talk to her about, though.
Yep.
So I'll do what I can, as long as everybody's happy with the wording now on this first one.
Yeah, just do a spell check, and if there's a little bit of stuff within the formatting, I guess you'll change it.
Okay.
Because there's some things that came up on mine, at least need to be corrected. But maybe the border should be all hearts.
Well, maybe something like that. That may be beyond my capability, but we can maybe figure that out. Margaret, I will think about this when we're off the meeting. I just put the simple phrase in and put the plans into effect to remind myself that we want to add that thought, but that's
Okay.
not necessarily the word. So once I have it done, um, I will circulate it again and you can take a look and see if you think it's adequate. I mean, I totally agree with your suggestion. I just can't do it on the fly.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem. You get the idea, that there's a lot of planning, but there's a whole lot of things that actually happen that, you know, because of planning and zoning's decisions, right? Things happen because of EDC's decisions, things happen. So that's all. And I just sent an email to you, Nora. I just Googled the phrase V, for volunteer, V stylized as a heart. And
Ah,
about 16 different little images popped up that could be the V in your headline that gets that point across.
okay.
So, and I'm sure some of them are free. But that was an idea that, the fact that the V is the bottom of a heart. So just I was looking for something where the heart and the V in volunteer could, without
Yeah,
taking up a lot of space, So anyway,
that looks good. I'm looking at it right now. Okay.
there's some fun options there.
Thank you very much. Anyone else, Maureen or Gwen, any thoughts?
Also,
All good?
I like all your ideas. I was wondering about the font for the historical part, where we have the names of people who are no longer with us. There possibly something like book antique, or some font that's like more old fashioned.
Old English.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch.
That's a good idea.
Well, I don't know which ones are with us and which ones aren't.
Oh,
In terms of death, it's just a matter of which ones are no longer active on the board.
okay, no longer active. That's what I meant. Yeah,
Yeah.
anything that's past, in the past tense.
Yeah.
But I love
Yeah,
all your ideas.
if that
Well-
type size could be smaller because it's a listing of names, we just have to make sure it's a really easy to read font.
Yes.
Mhm.
Picking up on that idea, would there be an opportunity for each commission to kind of personalize the volunteer symbol in some way, like for agriculture, make it something that's kind of related to agriculture, or you know what I'm saying, or just a font idea for the historical? I don't know. Maybe it's getting too carried away. We'll have time.
I don't know how how would you symbolize the Board of Assessment Appeals?
Right.
Dollar sayings. No.
Saying hands.
We don't want to do that right now. Okay, yeah, never mind. Well, thank you very much.
No, it's a nice idea, but I don't know if we can carry it through 18 different things.
Please, yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So we'll move on. Item B, discuss potential future projects, strategic planning. I did, and I think Margaret, you saw it too, that Catherine reached out to indicate that she'd like to go ahead with a strategic planning effort. I did run into her at the Arts Council extravaganza there a week or so ago, and she indicated that she's one of the things that towns really looking to do. They get their bond rating, and it came back pretty good, but there's always an opportunity to get a kind of an assessment or kind of feedback from Moody's and Poor and all the standards and all those guys from the rating agencies, and they kind of give you a kind of a roadmap of how you can improve your bond readiness and credit readiness, which are important to a town because it means you can save money when you go to finance things. And one of the things was the town should have like a strategic plan, and that's what we've been talking about for a while here. So she's interested in having the Our Town, Our Future be kind of a helper in that in some way. I don't know all the details. I didn't really talk with her that long, but she would like to have a meeting, if possible, with this group to kind of discuss what her thoughts are. So I don't know whether you guys want to have a special meeting, or whether you want myself or another member here want to get together with her and kind of frame out what she wants to do, what her ideas are. It sounded like the last time I talked with her, I think I mentioned she wanted to kind of engage a professional to help guide the town through this process, because it's an extensive process. If you want to do it, really, really the best way. So I'm not sure if she has funding and she's going to look to hire somebody, or she's kind of looking to do that with the help of this committee to kind of, have meetings to gather input from the public on the various topics of what would be packaged in a strategic plan. So I still haven't seen the POCD draft. I'm not sure what the status of that is at this time, but yeah, that's out there. So I don't know what the pleasure of this committee is and how you'd like to proceed with kind of engaging with Catherine on doing a strategic plan. Thoughts?
Well, I think we'll have to do it as a special meeting with her because we meet the same time Board of Selectmen meets.
Right.
So I think we'll just, have to pick an off Monday or, whatever day. And, and I think having a special and, and in person even, I think would be probably a good idea to start. And just see what she's got in mind. And did she forward us some examples, or did we forward her some examples of a few that you had found, Mike, that you thought were
I'd forward her
solid.
Some copies, and I can send that out again to everybody. But we could do that. I can get back in touch with her and see what she'd like to do in person. Maybe it's probably easier, I think. So yeah, does that sound good by everybody? We try
Yep.
to get a
Yeah, well,
Monday
if we
here.
could maybe have just change the date of our meeting, whatever, like next month or in September, which actually, I believe in September it might already be later because of Labor Day.
It is.
Then maybe, I mean, is that too late to start meeting with her?
Um, I think it's always, I'm always of the opinion it's always better to start as soon as one can, because the wheels of progress sometimes.
Well, then August.
So yeah, so I'll see whether there's any, whether there's how people's schedules look. Maybe the fourth Monday of this month.
Conservation Commission meets on the
Yeah.
fourth Monday. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
No, maybe it's a third. It's a third because we switched back to thirds. So if it's not Conservation Commission night, if it hasn't been shifted for a holiday or whatever.
Okay, I'll check back with Catherine, throw out some dates, and see where we go from there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then in the meantime, I'll send out some of the information I have, not to overwhelm anybody, but just for looking at what a strategic plan is. And I think our intent was then to not only to kind of gather up the stuff that's not in the POC and incorporate that into a strategic plan as well. So I think that would be still has a bit of work to do there as well. So we'll see.
Uh,
Yep.
Mike, you said you had not seen the POCD.
No.
You can, it's on the town website.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's also in the
No.
meeting materials from the last PZC meeting. So that's the June, what day is this? The June meeting. I think
Okay.
that's when they talked about it. It's in the meeting materials there. And they're two slightly different versions because one of them is more formatted than the other, but I believe the text is the same.
And the last thing I heard that I thought it was headed towards NECOG for review or what
I
have you,
think
but
it's already there.
yeah.
It has not officially been adopted or accepted by the PZC. And I don't know if that's the last thing that's supposed to
I think
happen.
the last.
I'm sure Catherine already has it. I'm pretty sure NECOG already has it. It's just,
I think there's usually a public hearing,
Hearing, right,
yes, you have to have a public.
and right, like there's a public presentation of it normally, and then like a public hearing and people, to give comments back, and then it needs to be adopted, I believe, typically endorsed by the selectmen,
right.
and then it gets adopted by PZC. Like there's this whole thing.
Right.
We just went through it in Mansfield. So, like the people have to see it and have a chance to weigh in on it. And then the governing body endorses it, and then it gets adopted by PZC. So,
Well,
Mike,
then I
maybe,
would suggest that everybody take a look at it because
yep.
if we're truly going to be a part of this process moving forward with strategic planning, I think we want to kind of familiarize ourselves of what's not in the POCD that was in it before.
there's nothing in it that wasn't in it before.
Did you send the link out to the online?
I'll try to find it on the website while we're talking, and I'll send you that link.
Mike, if I think it might be a good idea because we're the meeting people. If you contact Jeff and ask him if he needs to have a public meeting, a literal meeting in person about the POCD, and if that's something that we could set up for him and what the timing would be.
I think if you go, what Margaret was alluding to, there's a specific statutory process. So I think that kind of meeting is something that P and Z, I think, has to actually hold. As I recall, they are the ones that actually have to set the time in place, and they actually run that meeting. So, then going back years ago, with my recollection. But anyhow,
so it says here that there's that the public hearing on the plan is scheduled for Monday, June 8th. So maybe they had the public hearing
Well, that was when it was presented at the PZC meeting. And I don't know if that counts as the public hearing or not.
Okay.
Missed that one.
But it's on, if you guys all, when you get to it, Gwen, just go to the Planning and Zoning Commission's page on the website. And there's in the blue box to the left, it says draft plan of conservation and development, and it's right there.
Oh, right. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, well, this is all good reading. If you're on the beach someplace, take it with you. And
I'm not going to read it.
you're not going to read it. You see it every night when you close your eyes, I imagine. Okay. Any other thoughts on that? Okay, moving on. Any other project updates? Maureen, do you have anything you want to add to any updates from your time with what you're working on with historic?
I think I mentioned before we were going to go over to Eastford. We were invited there to see that they had a rendition of their Phoenix cotton mill, and Thomas Lathan explained everything to us. His great grandfather was the one who established it. It was pretty impressive, but I didn't realize along the Still River there were, we're 44 and 198. There was that cotton mill, there's a woolen mill, clover mill, grist mill. I mean, all those mills were right there. I was just amazed by that. So anyway, it was a very good meeting, and we went to Box after, we had our meeting there, which I recommend. I had the strawberry shortcake nor'easter, which is pretty good.
I picked up a copy of Sherry Much put together that for 250th, kind of a little bit of history of kind of interesting read, a lot of nice, interesting pictures in there, and interviews with people. It's and I think that, along with the publication, I think that the Historic Society put out with the mills, or that gentleman that put out that.
Oh, Terry, yeah.
Yeah, those are the two interesting, tidbits of information here, and that's worth looking at.
Yeah.
Captured.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, we had a lot of industry here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about, well, I'm beating the bush here, getting off track, but my neighbor up the street, you must know Bob Clark. Give me a kind of rundown of the old times there off of Lips Road, and there used to be another road that went off there, kind of paralleled it, Ridge Road, I guess, and some of the types of, they used to make bricks up there off some of the ponds, dig them out, and let them drain them, and made bricks and stuff. So there's a lot of interesting history still yet to be remembered, so to speak. So, but that's great. Any other project updates?
Does anybody know what's if there's anything else major planned for the rest of this summer with the 250th committee? I have been a terrible supporter of them, and I just wonder if anybody's aware of anything special happening.
I think there may be something else happening on Family Day. I'm not.
Oh, right. Yep.
I don't have details, but I think I've heard that. And that, I believe, is September 13th.
Okay, yeah.
Which, by the way, Mike, did you find out about our booth that we're supposed to be having there?
I haven't.
Okay.
I'll circle back on that. I know that was on my list. Okay. Okay. New member recruitment. None that I know of. New business. I think we kind of just talked about old business above. They'll be turning into new business, unless anybody else has anything else to talk about. New business.
No, but that'll be critical if we are going to participate in Family Day, what exactly our thing might be there. And, because that'll take some effort, whether it's, we basically put a spotlight on this volunteer initiative that we're undertaking and kind of, share that out a little bit. Just what we want our focus to be. So
I don't know if
for the
we'll be
strategic plan.
I don't know if we'll be there yet, but part of learning how to do these oral histories, there's a way to capture just short testimonials, which, like last year at the October at the Academy on October 3rd, if we could have that going like we did last year, and why people volunteer, that kind of testimonial would be good. But I don't know if we'll be there yet because it's a pretty complicated process. And we're learning.
Last year, that was just wonderful. The Walktober event you're referring
It's
to.
going to be better this year. It's going to be a lot better. And we're going to get Anne again. Yay. So, but anyway, yeah.
Well, Margaret, to your point, we only have one more meeting. Well, we have one, I guess, in September, very close to the Family Day event. But we can't be doing planning at that point. I think we'll be
Right.
finishing. So we only have the August meeting to really pull things together.
So, but based on what Maureen just said, there's this technique that you can do where you kind of do a poster that's a prompt. You can get them made at Staples for $20. So you set sort of a foam core poster on an easel with like a writing prompt, and it might be, the reason I volunteer in Ashford is because, or what I like most about volunteering in Ashford is, and people like write their response on a chalkboard, and then they kind of pose the poster with their answer to the prompt, and you grab their picture. And you can like do a Polaroid and give it to them to take home, but then take a hard copy, a real portrait of them. And so what it gives you then is this array of images of real people and whatever they're wearing that day with their perspectives on why they volunteer. Or, and we can be thoughtful, right, about what the prompt is, but it's kind of a fun interactive thing. And then at the end of it, you've got some images that you can use and go back to. And it's just kind of a fun way to engage with people. So like that would be if we wanted to do this volunteer thing, we would just have to come up with how do we word it so that it would be an easy thing for people to answer and prompt. And you might even have to have a couple, right? And they could choose which one they want to answer. So anyway, that's one that's easy to do without a lot of effort and a lot of prep. You just have to, but it's good. It's a fun. I've seen it done in a few different places, and I think it's an easy engagement tool.
Sounds good.
Instead, so something that would be free would be for us to take digital images and then we can display them using a laptop and a digital projector. And it'd be real time. And then we would also have them as a data, as a database of recollections of that. So
Yep.
that's another way
So
to
like with a digital camera and then project it onto the
right.
onto the just download it as you go. Yeah, I mean that would work.
Except
great
I'm not
also.
sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know how that would work exactly because there's no neither my laptop nor Joe's laptop, they're new, has the place to stick in a card from a camera. So
Oh,
either email or I don't know what, but there'd have to, well, probably maybe a thumb drive or something we could.
But that's what I mean. If you had a digital camera and you captured all of those pictures, yeah, at the end of the day, you'd have it, whether you could do it in real time or not. The Polaroid piece, only because I own one of those little, yeah, and those little Polaroid things, they cost, but people, I don't know, you can give somebody something and it's kind of a fun thing for them
Right.
to walk
Yeah.
away with. But
I don't have a Polaroid camera. I don't know who anybody does.
No, I don't either.
I do.
You do, Margaret?
I do, and my granddaughter does too. So, but just an idea.
What's the cost of the film?
I don't know. I haven't. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
So you'd spend a lot in film if you did the Polaroid thing. But
I think it's a great idea, but we would probably have to ask permission first. Do they mind having the photo taken?
Well, yeah. I mean, they would. You couldn't make them do it, right? Like if they wanted to do it in pose,
don't want to
that's
photograph.
permission.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the permission. No, I don't want to do it. Fine. You don't have to, right? But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get back by the end of the week or beforehand on whether we got a booth or not.
A booth.
My to-do list.
Yeah. I mean, well, I mean, we can probably say no if we want to, right? We can say we don't want to do a booth. It's just that it was mentioned as if we were obviously going to do it. So I wanted to make sure we were prepared.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like does anybody not want to do a booth?
I don't know that I can commit to it, only that's my high school reunion that weekend in New Hampshire. So I may be up there to be determined. So
25th high school reunion, huh?
Yeah, my 10th, Mike.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, I could probably make it. I don't know how long the event's supposed to last and whether I want to be there.
I'll find out the details.
Okay.
Okay.
Maureen and Gwen, is either of you interested in that?
I have to look at my calendar. So I just came back from Montreal, so I have to figure it out, and I still have 2 jobs.
Okay.
I've got to figure out what, Monday I can do it.
Well, this would be a Saturday, I think, is what they had.
Yeah.
Is it 13th? Is the 13th a Saturday?
Should be.
I probably could do it.
Pretty sure.
It depends what month?
No, the
December.
13th. The 13th is a Sunday. Actually.
Sunday I can do it.
Okay.
I'm not, I can't commit. I will try. I have a new grandchild coming and so whatever. But also if we did have the booth, we might want to show other things this committee has done other than this project now, because the gas station and, just the stakeholder meetings that we got together. So I don't know if I want to focus on our past too. I don't know what the purpose of the booth is, but
It's a good idea.
so we've been around for a while.
We're all a lot younger.
Yes.
Margaret had just graduated high school.
So, yeah.
Okay. Nobody's from the public is here. Any other input for next meeting? I'm going to be coming back from Maine that day, but I think I'll be back in time. But we've got a few meetings to figure out here, and I'll get you some information back by the end of the week here on the booth and all that other stuff. Any other comments?
Yeah, I would like to get updates in the future at this meeting. 2 things we discussed in the past. One is the road safety. Any updates there?
Exactly. Yes.
And then the
updates.
The other topic, it's a sensitive one. It's the across from the fire station, the house that burned, eyesore kind of thing, and maybe possibly dangerous if kids went over there to play. What's going to happen with that? And when is that going to be remedied?
Well,
Good question.
Those kind of things. I mean, those should be directed to the board of selectmen. I know that's in their court.
You brought those 2 up. We brought those up here at this meeting.
Yeah, before. I know. It's been discussed. I know EDC had talked with the board of selectmen about it, and unfortunately, it's in their court. The town doesn't have a blight ordinance, but there's other things they can look at. But there's a number of those throughout town. It's not just there. They're all over. There's one up above me on Westford Hill Road. There's there's quite a number of them that are around. So it's something that's on their plate. So
But that's across from the fire station.
I know. Oh, they don't have far to
Main road.
respond. I know. Yeah, well, that's the problem. A lot of these are on main roads, but it's I think the Board of Selectmen are sits in their court. Nothing we can really do.
I mean, it's a shame too how we worked so hard on that gas station and it was stripped of all the beauty there. I don't think anything's moving on that. I heard it was a wetlands issue. I'm not sure if that's
no,
true.
it got approved. It's been approved. The auto sales.
Is it going to go?
They're called Ashford Auto Sales, I believe. They were approved.
Great.
So the last thing we had heard is that they intended to move forward, but they just they haven't yet. That's going to be transformed here, hopefully sooner rather than later.
That's really good news. And, and also we've gone back and forth on Tucson, the meridians or the whatever, the medians. We were told state law can't do that. You go to Yukon, there are flowers all over those, and you come to Ashford, and that's like a major intersection of 74 and 44. It looks horrible. Are we sure we really can't do that? I'm sure the garden company.
Do you want to stand out there and plant plants? Have you seen how frequently those signs are knocked over by crazy drivers? I'm not doing it.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, at least we could mow it. It just
yes.
Well, it's state highways. The state should be mowing it.
Okay.
Right. Yep. I mean, if you want, the state does have a portal for citizens to express concerns. I've used it a couple times personally on various things, and they're fairly responsive. So anyhow, the RSA, the road safety audit that was done, assessment rather, was done back in 2018. I mean, it's been in the state's hands. They kind of did address some things with some upgrades there at the 74-44 intersection with the new traffic light and some striping and things. But I haven't heard of any major accidents there lately, so I don't know if that helped. It didn't, but yeah, it's really in their bailiwick, and that's something we can incorporate into strategic planning. We can keep it alive there. And because I think that's something that continues to be up on the top 10 at least, top 5 of residents' concerns about traffic on 44 and some of the other roads. But
89 is horrible. They're so fast on 89. I mean, anyway.
44 too.
Everybody's in a rush everywhere.
Right. I think we missed the boat when everybody was so vocal against the speed cameras, that thing that Catherine floated the idea of, because I think it's, as much as it's a big brotherish thing, I think it's getting results in some communities.
Right.
I went to that meeting and there were only about 50 people there. And it was very disappointing to me, because what it told me was that all those people want to speed in our town. They were crying about the Fourth Amendment and all this, but I thought it was just they didn't want to be slowed down when they didn't want to be. So
well, I can tell you that Yukon Technology Transfer Center is offering towns, I think, another grant for those speed signs. The ones that are the flashing like they have on Turnpike Road.
Oh, no, nobody pays attention to those. She's talking about the camera.
I know, but that's another tool in the toolbox. It's not just one thing, but that's another one that they can use. But yeah, the speed cameras. I mean, there may be another round of those, but it gets more use around the state. But yeah, I mean, it's what they need to do is just put the governors back on all the cars so they can only go a certain speed.
It's just amazing, though. I mean, really, if I go out to my mailbox, people don't even slow down. And what if I tripped or lost my balance? I mean, I wait for cars to go by before I go out there now, but I'm right there and they don't care.
You get killed going to your mailbox if you live on 44.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, I know, but I just don't get it. I'm sorry. It's not worth it. Anyway, enough of that.
Okay.
Mm.
Anything else? Anybody else have anything else that you would like to bring up, discuss? Other than this wonderful rain we're getting?
Oh, farewell to the drought.
Yeah. Mm,
Take more
At least
than,
it's cooling things off.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
Very good.
Thank
we'll
you.
get back to everybody on, so Nora, you're going to take care of those first few of the articles in the Citizen for the volunteer recognition. And I'll get back to everybody on the booth and what we're going to do
Oh,
there.
and we did reprint the Ashford Outdoors rack cards.
Oh, okay,
So
great.
I
Good.
have, how many did I tell you we did, Nora? Like 400 of them or something?
that's
Nora
what you
took a
said.
fistful, and I have a box of them here at the distillery. So if anybody wants to grab them, I also sent Nora a list of all of the campgrounds in northeastern Connecticut. And some of them are, out Killingly and places that are a little far away, but I really do think that campground people who are frequenting our area for the weekend looking for things to do like hiking trails, that's a great place for us to be putting those. So that's something that the EDC bought for our town, our future. So we have lots of those around, and if you just want to grab some and keep them in your car, and if you see a rack, like I need to replenish the rack down at the liquor store that's like our tourism rack, and put a bunch at town hall, and just get all those places replenished. So sorry, I forgot to mention that earlier.
I did hit Moose Meadow, the one in Union, and yeah, I think those are the
This
two
year?
last year, so they need to be hit this year.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I have the list, and Joe and I are going to drive around. When it stops raining, we'll do that. I was thinking of going yesterday, then I decided that people were leaving and arriving, and it was probably chaotic at every campground. So I put it off, and now it's raining. But and then sometime this week we'll get out and get started on that.
Very good.
Great.
Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn this meeting.
Thank you.
Second,
Second?
Nora.
Very good. Okay, thank you, ladies. Have a great rest of the week.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Come to our
Yeah.
Daylily Fest on
That's
Saturday.
right, Daylily
It's
Fest.
going to be a blast.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's going to be nice this year.
Yep. We got more daylilies, Nora, than we had last year out already. So I'm really
Yes,
excited.
all mine are blooming. So I'll be able to say exactly what those yellow ones are. I hope.
I think so. Hyperion. All right.
Very
Thank you.
good.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good night.